Hi, I'm Cathures with Perseid Labs, where we disassemble all our favourite games and see what theories shake out. As always, this theory wouldn't exist without my partner Shockburnt. Today, I'm talking about the fact that Oswald seems to be Foxy in the newest Into the Pit game. To clarify at the outset, in this video, we're commenting entirely on the Mega Cat Studios game, not the books or the broader continuities, solely on what this game is trying to tell us. I'd even argue that the Into the Pit book doesn't contain any of these overtones, and the Foxy element was a great idea that got added later on, giving new depth to the story. The first hint of this theory that we encounter in the game is that some kids in the best version of the past tell us in passing that Foxy is gone, off sailing the seven seas, and argue pointedly that it would be fine to be Foxy, if a little bit itchy for the salt. Nothing wrong with being a salty sea fox. Builds character, one of them exclaims. Despite this, when Oswald finds himself in the haunted past, he flatly refuses to look behind the curtain. And even though the entire game is about running and hiding in numerous places and hunting for items, he never dares use this spot for either. The next thing that hits us is that we realise that Foxy is almost absent from the pizzeria. Wherever there would otherwise have been an image of the four central animatronics, we see only Chica, Bonnie, and Freddy, sometimes joined by Golden Bonnie, as he's sometimes referred to in the files. Even at the pit, the mural features only 3 animatronics. Foxy never chases us or attacks us throughout the games. I've seen a few people mistaking Freddy peeking through doorways for Foxy, but I've yet to find Foxy in the files anywhere utilised, while there are 3 different sprite sheets of Freddy peeking through doorways. Foxy isn't present. This realisation adds to the horror of the setting, as jaded FNAF players constantly ask, "Where is Foxy?" as they play through the game. We encounter the paper pals in the pizzeria. At first, there are 3 of them. Initially, they're a bit dinged up, but in better shape as Oswald repairs them. They appear to be, left to right, Freddy, who's happy, Chica with a little beak mouth, and Bonnie, who as always looks chill. Later in the game, we see another paper pal added to the group with red arms and legs, potentially representing Foxy. The arcade's prize machine only dispenses Chica, Freddy, and Bonnie plushies. However, it does contain a Foxy mask that looks incredibly similar to the one we see on one of the children in the Happiest Day minigame from the main line of games. When we obtain stickers for our sticker book, or sketchbook, we see all of them dispensed in sequence, followed by a loud error noise from the machine, and no prize being dispensed when we put in another ticket. This, I think, is where Oswald blocks out the Foxy sticker from his memory. Oswald's drawings are also a key consideration. He draws all the animatronics except Foxy, as if pulling on some deep-rooted memory. He even depicts Spring Bonnie. When he arrives at the pizzeria in the past, he asks, "Who is Freddy?" Yet he's drawn Freddy on his bedroom wall at home. If we assume the doodles in the game menu were also Oswald's drawings, then he also depicts Springtrap in there, who he should have no recollection of at all. Some cut lines in the game mention that Oswald withers the animatronics often in his art. They state, he likes to draw. Simple stuff, like animals, maybe some animatronics, withered ones. He's not sure why he draws them that way. We see numerous references to withered animatronics throughout the games, for the broken Bonnie lights in the arcade, to the difficulty images on the menu. If Oswald is Foxy, there's a possibility that he and his companions are now withered. Editing Cathures here, Twitter user Neo Euroboria highlighted that there's a poster that's identical between Oswald's room and the killer's room on the wall. This to me implies that Oswald subconsciously remembers being there. I really wanted to include this. In one of Oswald's school hallucinations, we see Freddy, Chica, and Bonnie at desks in the classroom, with the teacher replaced by the pit monster. Oswald's seat would place him as Foxy, and this arrangement is very reminiscent of the positions the children are in the Give Gifts, Give Life mini-games in the original games. The fact Oswald even has these hallucinations at all is a real remark. We see him have a massive panic attack where he visualizes all his schoolmates as animatronics and endoskeletons and runs away from the school. His self deception is breaking down more and more over time as the game progresses. He has numerous unreal encounters, like when the pit monster leaps out of his phone and attacks him, along with the strange, haunting phone calls. He can access an Easter egg where we hear William spring locked over the phone. Foxy, along with the other kids, would have witnessed this event. In addition to all of the above, completing the What Am I ending gives us every reason to believe that Oswald is Foxy. Oswald, beaten by the pit monster, finds himself in the darkened pizzeria. The other animatronics are friendly to him, and as he walks along, he forgets his old name more and more. His name goes from Oswald in lowercase to simply Oz, and finally to question mark, implying he has completely forgotten his name. Finally, right in front of Pirate's Cove, his eyes glow like the haunted animatronics in his father's eyes do, and we're forced to ask which animatronic he has been all along. This eye glow reminds us of the times his father had his eyes glow and flickered into man and monster. We never see what Oswald would have flickered into if this happened to him. The concept that the dead do forget has come up loads of times in the franchise. It's first mentioned by William in The Silver Eyes, where he stated, "They don't remember," Dave said. "They've forgotten. The dead do forget. All they know is that you're here trying to take away their happiest day. You're intruders." Again, in the short story, Coming Home, Susie doesn't realise she's dead at all throughout. She doesn't remember her death. In the short story, Alone Together, we also see a kid who does not remember that he's been dead the entire story. The children in the movie also don't remember who murdered them. In this ending, Oswald forgets who he is and becomes a series of question marks. But in the character select screen, this is also how the pit monster is labelled. I think William might have also forgotten his own name and self, which is why he stopped dead on the spot when we dropped the William and Henry photo in front of him in one of the endings. In the achievement for What Am I, we see Oswald with half his face exposed as a robot. The question, what am I, is what the game is nudging us to solve about Oswald. Another name that is markedly absent from the game is Oswald's father's name. His work name tag states, "Hi, my name is Dad," which is inaccurate to anyone's authentic work name tag, which would obviously have their full name, or even just their first name. Oswald doesn't seem to remember his father's name, as he blurred it with Pit Bonnie and replaced it over time. Could the whole game theme, where he realizes something is wrong with his father, be Foxy questioning William's control over himself and the other children? If so, this angles the endings in new ways. The good ending becomes less good when we look at it with the potential to mirror the Brazil ending in Ruin, where Cassie decides to just exit the stressful situation and be happy forever. Oswald's best ending seems to involve never leaving town but remaining in the pizzeria forever. This perfect scenario doesn't make sense in the setting where the entire town appeared to be in unstoppable decline. There's no explanation as to why Jeff's Pizza finally picks up in this ending, beyond maybe the depression that the haunting has placed on the town itself finally lifting. In any ending, Oswald is likely still Foxy, and we only see how much or how much he doesn't finally remember. If there were any doubts as to the pit monster's intentions, we can see this in his voice lines, one of which states, "You'll fit right in with the others," and "I'll make good use of you." Though, like everything, Oswald remembers all these lines in a garbled and distorted way in his world. Finally, one place to look for parallels with Foxy was the Foxy Go 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 minigame, in which we run from one screen to another to see happy kids, only for the final time to run in on them and they're all murdered. In the game, Oswald walks into a room of murdered children, almost exactly the same way Foxy did. He's even accompanied by William, as Foxy was. Foxy Go 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 involves firecrackers too, with the successful parties accompanied by little explosions. Oswald gets some firecrackers in the game and uses these to move Freddy from the office. Could this too be a clever reference to Foxy's Cove and its firecrackers? There are no doubt many other little references to Oswald not being Oswald the Ocelot, but Foxy the Pirate, that are in this game that I just haven't found yet. But I genuinely love this method of storytelling, with the game's landscape depicting Oswald's mind and potentially false memories. Even if you disagree with this theory, which is fine, I think it's a fascinating situation to imagine. One where Oswald never leaves the town he's in, no matter how run down it becomes, because it is and was always intended to be his prison, where he spends every free day at the old Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria in an endless summer that goes on forever and ever and ever. Thanks for hearing out my little theory. Shock help with this. Shock helps with everything that I do. And yeah, this is just a little short one that I wanted to sum up. Love the game, love the theories that are coming out of it. Have so much to say about it. And yeah, if you like a little channel here, then I'd love for you guys to subscribe. We're so small, but we've got so much stuff to say. And yeah, thanks for hearing me out. Have a great day.